Usher's going on tour with Chris Brown. Is he getting caught up in shenanigans?
Jack Harlow just dropped a new R&B album. You know what's not popping? Not giving credit to a black artist for their work.
And what do we do when a legend leaves a problematic legacy behind on this planet rock?
All that and more on today's episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snerdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snerdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snerdy, ooh. Black and Snerdy, yeah. Black and Snerdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Nerds here on episode 183 of the Black and Snerdy podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, all things considered. I'm a bit frazzled, I'm a bit annoyed, I'm a bit disappointed. I'll get into more of that in the things that made me angry.
Sure.
But I'm just trying to make it, I guess. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Annoyed as well, frustrated as well, but you know, all you can do is keep moving forward. Keep pushing. For those of y'all who are first listeners, thank y'all for listening, watching the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That is where we are. Check us out on YouTube. Check out our socials.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Like
We're
American Express.
Yes,
We're
I was just about to.
you want to be.
I was just about to say we are just like that card. Although, what was MasterCard's thing?
I don't remember. Wasn't it the two
Every
globes coming together?
No, I know that's their icon. I thought, what was their tagline?
I honestly don't remember. Be the master of your own destiny? I don't know.
It makes sense. It should be that. What about Visa? Did Visa have one?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. If they did, I'd never seen one because everyone has a Visa.
Everybody has a Visa.
It's like American Express. It was like, ooh, we're different. Everyone doesn't accept us because we're exclusive.
Yeah.
The other ones are just like, please. And then Discovery. It's like,
Does
please.
anybody actually use Discovery?
I mean, they try to get you. They always try to get you because they want to give a card to everybody.
Yeah, Discovery is like Discovery. First off, all these card companies are predators.
Yes.
And two, Discovery is like the fourth B2K member that nobody remembers. Because I'm assuming, let's say Visa is Omarion. Mm-hmm. Is Omarion Visa or is he MasterCard?
No, Omarion's probably American Express.
Okay, so Omarion is American Express. Who is Visa?
J-Book.
Okay, then who is MasterCard?
Or maybe actually, no, Little Fizz is Visa.
Let me write that down. Lil Fizz is Visa. Omarion is American Express, you said?
Yeah.
So then who is MasterCard and who is Discovery?
MasterCard is J-Bug, and Discovery is Raspy.
Okay, yeah. So, sorry, Raspy, you are the Discovery of B2K. The Discovery card of B2K.
Because he wants people to discover his talent.
Yes.
He wants to be where the people are.
Yep.
So.
And you have to have talent in order for it to be discovered. I'm just saying.
You're right. You're not wrong.
He's the weakest link.
You're not wrong.
Of it, you know? Not everybody can be a Justin Timberlake. Some people have to be the
JC.
Joey Fatone.
Yeah. And fuck you, Joey, because I saw those pictures and videos of you performing at Mar-a-Lago. So
if anybody is going to perform at Mar-a-Lago, it would be the one who's named like an Italian meatball. Just saying. It only makes sense. All right. Should we get down to business?
To defeat the Huns?
Once they send me daughters when I ask for sons?
No, why
did they
send me daughters when I asked for sons?
Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't.
I mixed up the verses because one of the verses starts with once you find your center, you're sure to win. The other one starts with did they send me daughters or when I asked for sons. Anyhow, let's get down to business with a little bit of pop topics.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics. All right, where do you want us to begin?
It came to many folks' surprise this past week when Usher Raymond announced that he is going on a surprise tour, music tour, across the country with a special guest, Chris Brown. It is called the R&B tour, Raymond and Brown, which, I mean, obviously, great tour name.
It is a really good tour name, although all things considered, probably could be named Raymond and Bruises.
Yes, that is true.
Which is getting into, I think, the thing of it all. But continue.
So obviously the internet is split.
Yes.
As it's always
As it wants to do.
And I think that there are people on the internet who are super psyched about this. They can't wait. They love Usher. They didn't get to see him the first time when he just had his or the previous time he had his concert. When we went, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Breezy Bowl, if you will.
No, that's Chris Brown.
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. Usher didn't have a name for his concert.
No, he said Usher. He doesn't really need a name though. He's
It's-
Usher, so no one. He didn't need to have all that pomp.
He
and
was already
circumstance.
the halftime show on the Super Bowl, so we couldn't say Usher Bowl.
Well,
so
yeah, that's true.
you know, sorry.
But Usher had his really successful concert. It was going viral everywhere because
We actually went to it.
We went to it. He had that red coat. He was putting cherries in people's mouths. It was a whole thing.
yeah.
And now Chris Brown, he hasn't had a tour. Or actually, no, I'm lying. He actually had a tour this past year because I know a few people that I was side-eyeing for going to the concert.
Breezy Bowl.
Which was Breezy Bowl.
Yes.
And it did really well. His concerts generally do. Regardless of anything that he's done in the past, people support him, right? But I think that it came up as a surprise when Chris Brown was announced with Usher because it was kind of like, why? For what? Like, Usher doesn't need Chris Brown to promote a concert or to make it a concert that people are going to pay money to see.
Right.
Now, I don't think Usher's had... Let me look to see. I don't think Usher's had a new album since the one he put out like 2 years ago.
What was the last Usher album? I feel was it the Mountain one?
No,
The Mountain one.
Mountain.
The one
He
with
had,
moving mountains on it.
The most recent is Coming Home.
Sure.
Which came out February 9th, 2024.
Yes.
And
That's relatively recent.
Yeah, it's not like,
less than a whole 2 years ago.
And when he had his tour, most of the songs, if I can remember, they were not about this album.
Right.
Most of them were he was doing his hits. He probably had like maybe one or two songs sprinkled in.
Sure.
But for the most part, it was like, Usher's greatest hits, which people love. Usher has a lot of freaking hits.
When you're a legacy act like Usher, you play the hits.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Usher, but nobody is blasting Coming Home. I could not name a single song from that album.
Yeah, me neither. I'm sure it was a fine album, and Usher's not, a weak artist.
I'm
not a
sorry.
weak performer.
I'm sorry that I'm not bumping Cold Blooded featuring The Dream.
Oh yeah, another person on the list.
Yeah.
And like the last album, it had a lot of great features. He had Burna Boy, 21 Savage, Summer Walker, Lotto, The Dream, as you mentioned, her. So like the album, I'm sure it did well. Like people were listening to it. People came to the concert regardless of whether he even had a new album out. So it's kind of like, you can stand on your own because he is such an iconic act. I think Usher, along with Usher and Beyonce, to me, are one of the last acts from like the 90s that will be able to hold their ground for the next few decades, however long they want to stay in the limelight and in music, because of the fact that they're the last people whose mentors were people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston. Like, those were the people that came before them that they were looking up to and were using as guides through this industry of just how to act and how to be a performer. You know, like, they're not one-trick ponies. And so I'm just confused as to why Usher picked Chris Brown, because to me, I think, like, he seems to have an allegiance to losers, and that's just shouldn't be like you. Like, you don't need them. It's not like you're an up-and-coming artist. You're not someone who was like a one or two hit wonder back in the 90s and you're trying to have a career resurgence. People are going to come out to see you regardless. So it's like, why pick someone like Chris Brown? And I'm not going to lie, Chris Brown is very talented. He's a great singer. He's a great dancer. Although I will say, most recently, he just does a lot of, like, crunking, or crumping or whatever.
Which is a crumping?
Crumping.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, crumping.
He does a lot of that.
We all remember crumping.
He looks like he's just flailing his arms around on the stage a lot. But we can't deny that he's a talented singer.
Sure.
If it had not been for him being an abusive lunatic, not just to Rihanna, but to many other people,
sure,
we wouldn't be having this conversation. If it wasn't for all the things he's done with outside of his music career, we would be running to get these tickets. Like, this would be exciting. It would be the tour of the year, right? But that's just not the case. And so I'm curious as to why he made this decision. And it comes on the heels of his most recent interview that we talked about, where he was basically like lauding Diddy as someone who was really impactful in his career. He didn't want to like say anything bad about him, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just like, it feels weird. Like, it feels like you're just trying to let your career burn. Like, I don't understand what's going on.
So here's the thing. Like, first off, Chris Brown, mad problematic. Like, super. That's not even a question. But earlier you said who is running to see that concert, or who's running to see Chris Brown. The Breezy Bowl raked in $295.5 million to $298 million from 49 shows, selling nearly 2 million tickets. That is an insane stat.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. The thing is that Chris Brown, makes money. Like, for as problematic as he is, for as many issues, and for basically being a demon running around flailing his arms and, popping and locking. He's a pop and locking demon. Right? But quite frankly, he's a pop and locking demon with a large fan base.
Yeah, for sure.
He has so many fans. He has such a large body of work. He has so many singles and a large discography. It feels like Usher just looked at the numbers and said, I want to be Scrooge McDuck. I want to go into a tower, swim into a pool of money, which doesn't actually make sense statistically in physics. Because physics, it's hard. It's not liquid. It's hard money. A lot of
paper cuts.
You would get a lot of paper cuts. If it was coined, you would basically break your neck trying to jump into a solid. It's not. Don't do it. Sorry, Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. You cannot swim in a bunch of money. It feels like this was just ultimately a business decision from Usher. And honestly, like, I get it. It sucks, but I get it. And honestly, if that's what it is, then that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, if he's just gonna go out there and try to get this money, then that's just what it is, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like confusing to me, mainly because why? Like, you don't need this money. I mean, from outside of looking in, I'm not his accountant, but he's been having a successful career. I feel like, did he do a residency in Las Vegas? He may have.
Did he? That feels right to me.
Because I'm just thinking of all the stuff that he's done over the last few years. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine why he would need to do this. Okay, so
I don't think it's a need. I think it's a want. You're telling me that somebody with money doesn't want more money?
More money, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
Nobody who has ever had money sat down with all their money and said, that's enough. I have enough of the money. You know what? All of this money, I don't need to add to it at all.
So Usher did 2 residencies. The first one was in 2021. Had 20 shows, sold out of all of them. Mm-hmm. He did another one from July 22 to December 2023. Mm-hmm. Closed with 100 shows and grossed over $100 million. Mm-hmm. So obviously got paid well from those.
Yes.
And then he had his tour. He had the album. Like, he seems to be doing well. I don't know if this is a Offset situation where he's gambling all of his money away or Offset. Something like that, and is just trying to recoup. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, from my stance, it is money versus morality.
Yeah,
because that you're going to get a lot of money from this. You're going to get another extra layer of fans that are going to come that might not be as much your fans, know, because they both have it's a Venn diagram of people, but like both sides getting to see this other performer.
Sure.
But I'm curious if he doesn't care about alienating his fans as well. Most of his fans are women. Most of his fans are Black women. And from the responses that I see, yes, there's always going to be the women who are like, whatever, I don't care. I'm still going to go. It doesn't matter to me what Chris Brown did in the past because, Rihanna, she said she forgave him, so I'm going to forgive him too.
Mm-hmm. Rihanna now has a bunch of kids with R starting names with ASAP Rocky.
And it's like, yes, she forgave him. They even, tried dating a little bit after that. But even taking out Rihanna, he had issues with basically every woman that he has been with since Rihanna. Sure. Karrueche had a restraining order at some point against him. There are pictures of him. I don't know if the pictures are of him choking Karrueche, but there's a picture of him on a balcony on vacation somewhere where he's like grabbing this woman's neck, and there's another woman on the side that's like there and is like trying to stop them, but like clearly they're arguing. He's had various other women who have either filed police reports or we've seen issues happening. We have things where remember when he attacked Frank Ocean in the parking lot? He had a fight 3 years ago with Usher at a concert. So it's not like he's been a menace.
Sounds like Usher was able to forgive.
But he's been a menace to so many people, both whether male, female, in the industry or not. So it's like, as much as when everything happened with Rihanna, mm-hmm. I did try and give him some grace. Like, both of them were very young. He had come from an abusive household. He had been abused himself. And I tried to give him some kind of way out. Mm-hmm. But the same way with Kanye, it's like you have all this money and resources to get the help you need, and it doesn't seem like you are taking that help. You are digging down and digging deeper constantly into the mess. So at that point, like it becomes something where I can no longer say you were young and dumb, you were traumatized, you were dealing with all these things, because it doesn't matter how old you are, you're still going to end up in the news some way, somehow, for being violent, for crossing another person's boundaries. Even just the bullshit he was talking about after the Super Bowl when he made the shady comment of like, and this is why y'all didn't have me up there, like he would have done better. Like you could you have? Because at this point, I don't know. You always look drunk and high. Like, you probably could do a little 1-2 step, but, like, do I trust you to be able to pull off a whole concert without there being hijinks? At this point, I don't know. So, it feels like there's a moral issue here and an ethical issue here that goes above the money. And you would hope that someone like Usher, who's been in the industry so long, who's seen so many things, would make a different choice.
You say that, and I do understand that. Like, from a moral standpoint, I personally don't listen to Chris Brown. Haven't listened to Chris Brown in a long time. Sometimes fucking Yo comes on, and it, brings me back to a time before that light blue sweater that he wore on CNN. But by and large, I do not endorse Chris Brown. But, like, I gotta say that if the money makes sense, like, that's just how it is. Like, Usher is going with what makes sense financially, money-wise, and unfortunately, in this world that we live in, and specifically in this country, in capitalism, money fucking talks. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be, he's gonna look at all of his dollars and say, you're my little freak, to whoever the hell is on the $100 bill. I forget who it is. Is it Benjamin Franklin?
Jefferson?
Who is on the $100 bill? It's been so long since I've seen a $100 bill. I don't know which white man is on that fucking dollar. Yeah, I was right. Yeah. So he's gonna look at all of the millions of Franklins that he has, and he's gonna say, hey, like, you remind me of that tour that I want to do. So that's just what it is. All I'm saying is that, like, for Usher, pattern wise, he goes where the money goes.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna go with the money goes, then that's just you showing us what you value, which is money, which is in line with how I feel all millionaires and billionaires, regardless of talent, feel.
Yeah, I mean,
why would I expect morals from a millionaire or a billionaire?
Even if we're not expecting morals, I would expect maybe a little bit more common sense and reading the room, right? You saw the backlash from your conversation with Diddy. You know that there's going to be backlash with having this concert because every single time Chris Brown does something, there's extreme backlash and they lose fans. I guess it's a gamble of whether or not you're going to lose more fans than you already have.
But this is the last question I'm going to pose, and then we can move on. Chris Brown, who has done as much as he's done with the rap sheet and the dirt sheet that he has, again, pointing out his concert brought in $298 million from 49 shows, selling nearly 2 million tickets, the 7th ranking top grossing tour of last year. Like, with all that information, like, what if anything is there that Chris Brown could do to make people not watch him,
I mean, nothing.
Or not support him,
Nothing.
not pay tickets, not buy his merch,
Nothing.
not go to his shows.
I would say, like, be a Trump supporter, but that's not true because Kanye West is right there.
Yeah.
So there's honestly nothing, which honestly, that makes me sad and it sickens me that people do not have enough of a moral compass that they can just decide, as much as it's frustrating and sad and disappointing to cut out a major artist from your playlist or whatever, there's also a lot of other artists out there. Chris Brown's not the only artist out here that can sing and dance.
Understandable. You're absolutely
That's
right.
attractive. That's going to bring you a lot of fans. So it just feels like it's constantly a slap in the face by artists that, you know, are beloved artists that bring so much to the music scene. They've done so much in the culture. And you would hope that they would have a semblance of, like, responsibility for their actions, but it seems that we are consistently being force-fed bullshit and told it's chocolate ice cream, and I don't fucking like that shit.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens when you hope in one hand and shit in another. Guess what? Guess what's gonna get filled up? It's not chocolate ice cream. It's not chocolate ice cream.
You're going to smush it all up and bring it together and have to just gobble it down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So, moving right along from one man's questionable decision to another man's series of questionable decisions. Let's talk about it. We're talking about Offset.
Offset. Woo, 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 woo. So
Shoot.
Offset was involved in a shooting last week. He's fine.
He's okay.
He's okay. Here is a video that came out. He was shot at a casino in Las Vegas. I think he was at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Oh, sorry. He was at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Right.
Here is a video of him outside of the hospital. He's in the little wheelchair thing. Mm-hmm. He was smoking. I believe he's there with his mom and maybe, you know, a friend or whomever helping him along the situation.
Sure.
So apparently, a rapper named Lil TJ.
Yes.
I have never heard of this rapper.
You've never heard of Lil TJ?
I have never heard of him. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. I forget the song that he does, but yeah. You were saying?
Well, Lil TJ, he says that he's being falsely accused. He said that the last thing I see was Offset looking at me like this. Yo, that nigga shot me. That nigga shot me. Nigga's a rat. Nigga, I didn't do no damn fighting. Did I shoot? That shit is crazy. I will smack the shit out of Offset. He would never play like that with me in his life. Ask Offset. Now, allegedly, it said that he owes Lil TJ some money from some sort of gambling debt. Mm-hmm. But the crazy part is that so many other people have been coming out of the woodworks to mention he apparently owes the money. Mm-hmm. Someone named Des Bryant, who I do not know, maybe he's a footballer or someone in sports. I'm not really sure. But they tweeted out that I don't ever talk about what I do or my relationships with anyone, but I'm going to give y'all a quick story between me and Offset. I beat Offset out of 8K. He tried to take a nap on me, and I go to tap him to wake him up, telling him I need that 8K. His partners saw me tapping on him. I could tell his partners wanted to jump on some bullshit. I chilled because I was by myself, completely outnumbered. So I charged to the game. I swear to God, Offset reached out to me yesterday, 3 hours before he got shot on a money play. I thought about it and said, I'm good. And then I saw the news later on, and I was like, damn, some people don't play about their money. And then Ebro also says that Offset owes him $5,000 for a bet they made on the Super Bowl. And he was talking on the Ebro Laura Rosenberg podcast show. He said, Offset's fine. I tried to call him last night. We bet on the Super Bowl in New Orleans. I bet $5K. I was prepared to pay him $5,000. I've talked to him 1,000 times since then and never jammed him up about $5,000 because clearly he's somebody who didn't pay his bet. Now, I'm curious, like, what is really going on with him. I think, honestly, it might be possible that he has some kind of sex addiction. And also
sex addiction
I think
you mean gambling addiction?
No, I think he has both a sex addiction and a gambling addiction. This is why. He talked about on a podcast, or he was being interviewed a few months ago. I want to say this is after he and either right before or after he and Cardi B had like officially separated and all that.
Sure.
And he said he cheated on her like 50 times.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if he might have a sex addiction and a gambling addiction, because these are two crazy scenarios. You've lost your family and your relationship because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Now you are getting shot over allegedly owing this other man money. You owe other people money. Who knows how many other folks he might have some debts for, right? And I'm thinking, like, to me, as somebody who is such a big artist, it seems weird to me that you're spending so much of this money gambling, and that also you're owing all these people money. Because to me, not to say $5,000 is a lot. I'd be fucking crying if I owed somebody $5,000, right?
Right.
But he's at such a level that I would assume $5,000 to him would be like $500. You know, it's a lot of money, but also I might have that in the back.
Do you mean that in reverse, that 500 would be like 5,000 to him? Is it that he has so much money that he could gamble it away, or he has so little money that he shouldn't be gambling it away?
He has so much money where for him
500 is like 5,000.
No, that 5,000 is like 500. 500 is a lot of money, right? But if an average person, if someone said like, oh, I lost a bet, I owe $500, you'd be like, damn, I owe this $500, but I could still get that, right? Compared to 5,000, where it's like, that would be a big sum for you. But if you are someone who has money, you could give that $5,000 up. Not to say you wouldn't hurt. It'd be like, damn, I lost this $5,000.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's essentially treating $5,000 like it's pocket change.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's the mentality.
Yeah, so I'm like, is it that does he not have a lot of money left over from what he's done and everything with his divorce proceedings and everything with Cardi B, where he doesn't have the money and he's just gambling it and doesn't have any recourse to get it back? Or is it that he's just gambling, losing, and is just like, whatever, fuck it, I'm not paying these people? It's confusing. It
is confusing. And my only thing is, like, first off, I have my vices. I do not gamble. Gambling is not my vice. When I do enter into a bet, like, the only thing that makes sense is to bet on a thing if the odds are in your favor.
Yeah.
My only thing is, if he had just sat down, done the math, and actually placed a casino level bet a lot of money on whether or not Cardi B's most recent child was his, I'm sure he would have made a lot of money back, because it turns out that child is his. And that's why her and Stefan Diggs broke up.
Oh, shit.
If he had made that bet, he would have won that money many times over, and then he could have paid all these people off.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious. He made terrible bets. He has a gambling problem, and he needs to figure himself out. That's just what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you did not hear this?
This is the thing. Before, when I was like getting stuff ready for the podcast,
sure,
I had seen a video of Cardi B crying. Yes. In the caption, it was like, Offset had asked for a paternity test, but from what I read, it seemed as if Offset wanted the paternity test, but it turned out not to be his son. I did not, and I didn't go and listen to it. So now I'm honestly, I am shocked that this is happening. And I'm flabbergasted. Because I just I did not know. I did not know about that. And now I would like to look into it.
Okay, all right. Actually, my apologies. There might be some conflicting reports. Just from the summary that I just did, I saw that it was essentially his or something along those lines. But again, it could be alleged. Who knows? Point is, overall, Offset, you got a gambling problem. Need to take care of it before you end up getting yourself into a bigger situation, you know? Like, just fucking follow your own advice, you know? Like, don't do anything for clout, or the opposite of your advice. Don't do anything for clout. Don't do anything for clout. All right?
But it is,
Make better financial investments. Like, maybe don't see if that child is yours, and maybe just leave that alone so that you're not paying child support. Maybe invest some money into some I don't know, steak sauce, Offset steak sauce.
Offset steak sauce.
Oh my God, even better. Rebrand the clap off. Call it the clap offset.
Clap on.
Clap offset. Clap on, clap offset. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Well, honestly, I just want Offset to be careful because the Migos just lost a member.
Mm-hmm. Take off.
And that, like, I feel like, you know, it's still been something that's like the community is still reeling about.
Yes.
Like, and also we don't want any of the, like, we want black men to be able to grow old, right?
Sure.
We don't want you who are great members of the culture. Well, great as in for music, not great as in behavior. But we want you to be careful. We want you to take care of yourself. And if you are having issues with gambling and just racking up racks on racks on racks of gambling debt, that is an issue. Okay, that's how Bruno Mars ended up making that stupid song with Sexy Red. You don't want to have to put yourself in a place where you have all this money, you have all this clout, you have all these things going for you, but you have to spend your time doing shit you don't want to do just to pay off people that when you don't need it. Like when you have a huge, what is it called? Not a dynasty. You have a huge repository of music that people love.
A discography.
A discography, thank you. Of music that people love. Go on tour. Pay these folks back, okay? Stop creating shenanigans and chicanery because this is not what you're supposed to be in the freaking news for because you got shot in the butt. Okay? Like, do better.
Do better, Offset. Do better, Offset. All right. So, now that we have left Offset behind in the sunset, Offset in the sunset, we are sunsetting Offset. And now, look, I did my best.
But your best wasn't good enough.
I still need to get that drop. I will make a note to get the drop for best wasn't good enough. Anyhow, moving right
Take a
along.
shot.
Yes, take a shot. Moving right along. What do we have up next?
Well, in more music news, Jack Harlow has a new album that we didn't really talk about. It's called Monica.
Yes.
Which, the name in itself, fucking terrible. If you don't understand what that name is, there was a joke years ago that I saw where it was like, this white person was like, people keep calling me Monica. Or black people keep calling me Monica. I don't understand. Because they're saying my nigga, Monica. So
I didn't realize that was the joke.
Yeah, it was like a Reddit thread from years ago. And so he thought he was being funny. He was having a little ha-ha naming this album. And the folks responded with him with a ha-ha in his music sales because it's the worst performing album that he has ever had. Because
Which kind of sounds on par with, like, R&B albums, if I'm being honest.
It does.
Because, you know, my R&B albums in general have not been performing all that well. But, you know.
Well, he's number 40 on the Billboard 200.
Sure.
And I'm curious how much of those numbers are from like his team spending money to get him on there. But we listened to it. What did you think?
Yeah. So just for clarification, his first week sales was about 20K. As far as like first week sales. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it debuted, like you said, at the top 40. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was like ground shattering, earth moving. Nothing stood out. Honestly, we played it on Spotify, and then it went. And it came and went, essentially. Like we were listening to it before production, and we were like, when is this album gonna end? And by that time we were 3 songs removed from the album. We were on some Brent Fire shit, and we didn't even notice. We were just like, oh, this is not Jack Harlow, because like he uses a lot of the trappings of R&B, but nothing stood out. Nothing was earth-shattering or anything like that. So
I mean, I think it sounds like
Jack Harlow from me, quite frankly.
It sounds like a late 90s, early 2000s neo-soul album, but not in a great way.
I was about to say, like, that's very disrespectful to VH1 Soul. His album would not show up on that programming block. It would just be a continuation of Eric Benet's Georgie Porgy in that One Music Soul Child music video where he puts on the old makeup.
Well, yeah, you're right. The song didn't stand out. But do you want to know what stood out for everyone?
What?
Well, he has a video for, I think the song's called Say Hello. Mm-hmm. And everyone and their mama has been talking about a wardrobe choice that he made. And I'm going to put it on the screen for everyone to see. This hat. So everyone's very confused. Where did he get this hat from? Nobody's ever seen a hat like this before.
You know what it reminds me of? It literally reminds me of a combination of the military-style hats that Dave Chappelle used to wear during his Chappelle Show era, and the big fucking hat that Dave Chappelle wore in Nutty Professor.
It kind of looks like the Sorting Hat. If the Sorting Hat was a cap.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what is it sorting? Is it sorting whether or not this motherfucker is going to bring potato salad to the barbecue?
And with raisins in it?
With the raisins.
Yes. It's debating what type of casserole he's gonna bring. It's
debating if he can say the N-word, and he can't.
I will just say, like, he pretends and purports himself to be such a lover of the culture. Mm-hmm. When last year, when he got, I think it was last year, the year before, he was on, maybe he was Hot 97 or The Breakfast Club, and they were playing all these various like songs for him. Mm-hmm. He couldn't name one of them. He didn't know the artist. He didn't recognize the song. And I'm like, for you to say that you're such a lover of the culture and you've gotten blacker with this album, what black where? What blackness like is this? Because even Carlton Banks would have been able to identify like a Goapele song or whatever, like from the 90s that like went really viral. Like, I just feel like he, as a rapper, I've appreciated his songs. Like, I think they're fun for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not necessarily going out and buying an album or going to your concert, but it was also one of the things like, okay, like, you're cool. Like, you're not...
I enjoyed What's Poppin'. Wasn't a fan of What's Poppin', the remix with Trey Songz. Not Trey Songz. Who's that Canadian nigga who's in jail for shooting Megan in the foot?
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, my bad, sorry. And I like that other Jack Harlow song. I don't like no whipped and chain back, you can't hold me down.
Oh.
And whipped and on me, baby. Anyhow, like,
yes, I do like that song.
I liked parts of his past catalog. This R&B album, it ain't it. It just isn't it. Like, it's not going on the repeat. It will not show up on my Spotify, best of list.
No. And I think it's even more outrageous because apparently there was a black creator, a writer, who said that while they were working together, and he didn't want to collaborate, or he didn't want to credit her for her collaborations. Her name is Jazzy, and she said on a podcast, she was talking on Selective Ignorance with podcaster Mandy B, and they were asking about what it was like to work with him, and she said he pretty much wanted me to be a ghostwriter.
Right.
And after that, she didn't work with him again. This was for, I believe, his album 2022, his 2022 album, Come Home, The Kids Miss You.
Right.
And I think that it's the whitest thing you could do to work with a black creator and not credit them.
If anything, I think it's the most music industry thing that you can do.
Yeah, the music industry is real white.
If anything, I think he is right on track to be the quintessential white rapper in this space. You come into, you're a white guy, you say, hey, I like that genre, I'm gonna come in and do my thing. And then, hey, I like that other genre, I'm gonna come in and do my thing. And do it, let's say not poorly, but just good enough to be, successful. And then to turn around and to not credit the people who got you here, that's exactly what the music industry does. I don't even necessarily, we would not have half the music that we did if it wasn't for A, white people taking black music, and B, people in the music industry not giving credit to other people in the music industry for what it is. I understand that he reached out to her and was like, thank you for the work that you did. I would prefer if you were a ghostwriter. Here's the thing. That's not how that works. I'm pretty sure you have to lead with, hey, I want you to be a ghostwriter before they start doing work for you. And that I don't think you can retroactively be like, hey, this hard work that you did, don't take the credit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that doesn't even make sense. There are plenty of people who jump at the opportunity to be a ghostwriter for people, okay? Quentin Miller was happy being a fucking ghostwriter for so many artists, including Drake, who doesn't write his music. Anyhow, but, you can't just retroactively be like, hey, that hard work that you did, can you not take the credit?
There's nothing wrong with having a ghostwriter, working with them, or being one.
Yeah.
But that is something that is spoken about before you start working
before the
on
work
the project.
starts, yes.
Because you're either going to choose to be in the background,
yes,
or you're going to say, no, I want my credit. And
exactly.
That's what it is. And I think that Jack Harlow has just lost this round of white shenanigans.
Yes.
Not just in the eyes of, the listeners, but also in sales. It clearly, this sort of pandering and trying to put on this black costume, it didn't work for you.
Also, you fucked up by apparently he did this through a voice note. Don't leave evidence. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do this face to face.
Because I'm saving it.
Be a man. Don't be a coward. Do this face to face. Say it in a place so that it's literally just your words against each other's words. Okay? Because now she has evidence. She could literally go on a podcast and just say, here's the voice note that says it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Do better, Jack Harlow. This should be the Do Better podcast.
Yeah, because everyone needs to fucking do better.
Everyone needs to do better. Overall, just do better. Just do better. Just do better. Just do better. Maybe that should be a segment on this podcast where it's literally just stories about people who should just
It's going to be a long list because everyone needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
People are on some fuckery and it's never good.
Yeah. Anyhow, so that's Jack Harlow. Moving right along from One dude who entered the culture with question marks. Now we have another dude who left the culture with a shit ton of question marks.
You are
like
correct.
a bunch of question marks. Not in the sense that we wonder what he did or why he did. It's more like you did some shit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Those are the question marks. The WTF marks. We, of course, are talking about the late, and I'm just going to leave it there, Afrika Bambaataa of the Zulu Nation, one of hip-hop's founding fathers.
Yeah. This part, I mean, like, he passed away this past week at 67. He had pancreatic cancer. And so, of course, when this happened, there were mixed responses online.
It says a lot about our culture that there are mixed responses, but I'll just put that way.
Well, those responses were mixed because, of course, like you said, Afrika Bambaataa, part of the Zulu Nation, one of the starters and the founders of hip hop.
Of course.
We wouldn't be where we are right now in hip hop if it were not for him.
Absolutely.
Right? However, a few years ago, it also came out that he had some really serious and disgusting allegations about him, and that he, warning, assaulted some children.
Warning.
There were several boys who said that he had assaulted them when they were younger. It had gone on for several years. There was a lawsuit that he eventually lost, a civil case that was finalized, I believe, 2025 of last year. That he lost the civil case because for the CSA and trafficking, because he didn't show up to court.
Yes.
The plaintiff in that case filed a suit in 2021 alleging that he was assaulted by him at age 12 between the years of 1991 and 1995. And so he got a default judgment in his favor that was granted without opposition. Now, there are other people who have come out. One person who has been vehemently against Afrika Bambaataa has been someone named Hassan Campbell, who recently came out with a very emotional response to his death and just talking about him. And he called him the Black Jeffrey Epstein, which obviously, if you know anything about what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, that's a very huge label to put on someone.
Of course.
But I think this kind of goes to what happens to your legacy when you also haven't been a good person. Like, there have been people who online are like, he's dead, we should honor him. Like, these are things that he's not here to discuss anymore. Mm-hmm. But even when he was alive, what he said was all he said was they were false, they were disgusting, it wasn't true. But he was kicked out of the Zulu Nation.
Was he kicked out, or I thought he left?
He either kicked out. It was kicked out or he left. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people within his sphere were protecting him. You reminded me, actually, before I went to a KRS-One concert a few weeks ago because I got some tickets from a coworker of mine because they couldn't go. And I was really excited. Like, I grew up on KRS-One, always loved him, loved his music. And right before I left, when you were like, oh, I'm surprised you're going, because of his kind of...
His defense of Afrika Bambaataa.
His defense. And I honestly was like, I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, he was on Drink Champs and he defended Afrika Bambaataa, basically saying that, like, the legacy is more important than anything else, including the allegations.
And that, to me, I feel like is such bullshit because, like, we've talked about this before when it comes to people's legacies and who they are. But I think in the Black community, there's definitely been a long-standing issue of when someone dies, wanting to whitewash who they were. And my thing is, if you don't want people to say negative things about you when you are dead, don't do negative things when you're alive.
That's fair. And I think that's an understandable stance to take. Me personally, I think that there is a way for you to teach the importance of people and how those people made an impact on whatever industry, whatever genre, whatever field they were in without glorifying them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are people in the history of the world who have made a lasting impact on the world. Genghis Khan made a lasting impact on the world. You can discuss his history, you can discuss who he was, and you can discuss what he did in the grand scheme of the world without necessarily celebrating the man. Like, we get it. Like, he fucked so much and fucked so hard that so many people have his genes in them to this very day. I understand that. You don't have to glorify the motherfucker just because he came in a bunch of people back in the day. Well, you know what I mean? And it's the well, oh boy, I walked right into a very weird parallel. You don't have to glorify somebody to be educated about what they did, is what I'm trying to say.
And I mean, also the thing about Genghis Khan, yes, he created so many people through his conquest, right?
Yes.
But how many of those people were created consensually?
Right, exactly.
So that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this person is very famous. We have so much information about them. They did so many things, that even some things that could be great, but at the end of the day, if you were also doing bullshit, we can't deny that.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, like, from an educational standpoint, you can talk about Afrika Bambaataa and what he did and how it contributed to the growth of the genre. You can totally do that. You can totally do that without saying, like, his music was so amazing. His music was so great. You can literally just bullet point the fuck out of that shit. You can literally just say, Afrika Bambaataa was a part of Zulu Nation. Afrika Bambaataa made Planet Rock. Afrika Bambaataa did this, that, and the third. Boom. That's that. And you can talk about how that later affected everything else that came from that. You don't have to celebrate the fuck out of this guy at all. You don't have to. Like, you can acknowledge the work while also removing the celebratory aspect of this person, because, quite frankly, he does not deserve to be celebrated. He does not deserve to be acknowledged in a positive light, even with the hard work that he did for the genre of hip hop. He just doesn't, because ultimately his crimes outweigh his contribution. Crimes, contributions.
I think it's like we talked about last week when you mentioned Cesar Chavez.
Sure.
Cesar Chavez was an amazing labor relations union activist, all that. And also a predator.
Yeah.
Those are two things we cannot, we can't take one out and have the other. They're both there. We all have duality.
Yeah.
And it is important to acknowledge that. You can acknowledge things that someone did that were great, that could have helped the communities, whatever that case may be, and also recognize that they did some shitty things.
Exactly. You don't even, like when I say educational purposes, you don't even have to say his amazing work. You can just say his work with labor relations was invaluable. Boom. That's it. Like, his work was important. And these are the reasons why his work was important.
But I think that
it absolutely removes the celebrity out of it.
At the end of the day, I think that what we could all take away from these situations is just that we should not forget about the good things that someone did, and we also should not forget about the terrible shit they did, because
absolutely
nobody else that's dealing with them is going to be able to.
Yes.
All right. So let's go on to the things that made us mad and the things that made us happy.
I couldn't agree with you more. Here are the things that made us mad.
Bring it. What? We grind it.
And that is the things that are making us mad. What's making you mad this week, Odie?
I think that the thing that's making me mad is the thing that's making you mad.
Yeah, it is.
So
Absolutely.
I think that we are on the same page with this.
We had a Mickey Mouse situation in our
No,
apartment.
it was not a fucking Mickey Mouse
Fine.
situation.
We had a Ratigan situation.
Okay.
From, what was that movie with Basil?
Ratigan?
The great mouse detective. Oh, Ratigan.
So,
Ratigan.
today, I was so excited because I was going to see Mayor Mamdani do his 100-day address. I got a free ticket. I was going to go. Boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. As I am getting dressed, the day already started off shitty because I woke up and I had my period. That fucking sucks. I hate it. Right?
I agree.
So, I'm not feeling great. I'm really sluggish. My stomach's hurting. I just want to lay in bed all day. However, I'm I also want to see Mamdani speak. Who knows when there'll be another opportunity for me to do this, to be able to hear this address and all that stuff. Very excited. As I'm going to go get my outfit, walking from the living room, I see a fucking rat.
Yep.
Maneuvering its way around from the kitchen into the living room.
Yeah.
So I scream, run into the room, and he's like, "What's going on?"
Yes. For a little bit of additional context, I at this point was in the bathroom, on the toilet. Anyhow, continue.
So when that happens,
I was incapacitated.
I run into the room. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" I tell him the rat, all this stuff. Looking for my cat because Arya's not anywhere to be seen. I was worried that maybe I didn't know how she was going to react, but I also was worried about the fact that what if this rat tries to bite her or something.
Spoiler alert. This cat is absolutely useless.
So Arya had been in the
And
bedroom,
pointless.
let her out. So I'm still in the room. I hear I hear screaming. So I'm like, what's going on? The rat had come back out. He's screaming for Arya to get the rat. Which she was like...
At one point, I picked her up physically. I chased this cat who was running away from me to do its fucking job! Absolutely refusing to do the one thing that cats are supposed to fucking do!
She said, get somebody else to do it. Okay? Get somebody else to do it. I don't know who you thought was about to be in here playing cats and robbers or whatever, but it's not me. And so there's screaming, there's confusion, there's disgust. Okay, and then when I come out of the room because we're not getting this, the cat's not gonna do anything. And now my biggest worry is that the cat is gonna try, even if she tries to get near this rat, she's gonna get bit because she doesn't know how to fight. She's an indoor cat. She's lived a very pampered life.
In New York City.
Yeah, but I've never lived in a place with rats. Never. I've never lived in a place that had rats or mice. That just has never happened. They might come in and die, but I know that she has never gone in and killed one. Also, because I know, when you play the little laser thing with her, she does not move, right? She likes aerial things. If there was a bird flying around here, she would have been running and jumping and trying to get it.
I sincerely doubt that, too. Because if the cat is not doing the thing for the mouse, why would I believe that the cat does the thing for the bird?
I think she would do it for the bird.
This cat is broken. This is a broken fucking cat. She has a broken cat that we feed
She's not
so
broken.
much food to.
She's older. She's a lady. Okay? She was not about to run around and get into a fight with this fucking outside rat. I don't think she's ever even seen one. And she's old now. She's 14 years old. Man, no, is she 14? I got her. No, yeah, she's like 14 years old. She's not running around here trying to catch this rat. She saw that rat. You know what she would do? What she was doing when she saw it. She'd walk into another part of the room, hide out until the rat was taken care of. Okay? Because she is not built for that. She's not built for tough. Okay?
That is a little bit upsetting.
So this cat is an upsetting cat.
So it called upon us to do the hard thing.
We feed this motherfucker so much food.
That's not. She's not going to do it unless the rat tried to attack her.
The cat has no purpose other than this one thing, and it doesn't do it well.
The purpose is to
it should get fired, quite frankly. Like as somebody who is unemployed, I do not see how someone, this is the weirdest privilege I've ever seen. Someone who literally, this is how you know that she has toxoplasmosis inside of her fucking skull. She has been convinced that the thing that is supposed to do a job doesn't do the job and is somehow still of worth and value. But okay.
Yeah,
all right.
She is. So when Arya would not kill this cat or kill the rat, we then had to figure out how we were going to do it, because we called the landlord.
Yeah.
He told us just put it in a garbage can. Somebody else was here that works in the building. I went to go speak to them. They were like, "Oh, that's no big deal. Just put it in the garbage." Put it in the garbage how? Put it in the garbage where? And so now it is up to us to figure out how to get this rat that is stuck in the tub.
Yes.
Out.
Yes.
And the whole situation was extremely ridiculous, extremely disgusting and gross, and also extremely disappointing for me, because now this means I'm spending my morning here, or my afternoon here, instead of going to the fucking Mom Donnie event, which I wanted to be at.
So, long story made less long, ultimately, it was taken care of. We ultimately took the rat out of the tub using
various methods.
Using a broom and the dustpan, and we put it outside of the apartment.
And if you didn't know, rats scream. A shrill, terrifying, bone-chilling scream.
It is terrifying.
And I never want to hear it again. Like, I sometimes hear rats arguing or, like, fighting outside.
Yeah.
But this was completely different.
When we were literally trying to use the broom and the dustpan, that motherfucker is very vocal and would not cooperate. But ultimately, we got there.
It's a sound I'm going to hear in my nightmares.
It is a sound that is like...
It's etched onto my brain.
Absolutely just not something that I would ever hope to give my enemies or my friends. And I'll just keep it at that. We'll just keep it at that. So, what's making us mad? Fucking Remy the Rat. Fucking Master Splinter. Fucking Rizzo. Whatever you want to call them. Ben. Who else? Pikachu. Fucking Templeton. Like, you want to... Whoever it was. They ruined our afternoon.
Terrible.
Very terrible.
And my fucking potato box.
Yes. Yeah.
Because nobody wants to put potatoes in a rat infested thing that has rat water on it.
And then we had to obviously disinfect the tub. And
will it ever be clean, really?
No, obviously it will not. But it is what it is. With that being said, let us briefly discuss the things that made us happy this week.
Miss me with that bullshit.
That was not it.
I know it wasn't it. I know it wasn't it. Because you know why? You know why? Because it was bullshit that this fucking asshole is in our apartment.
And I just hope it was the only one. Who knows? Who knows? Because it seemed to get it from the living room to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, anyhow. This is what's making us happy. Okay. Do you have something that's making you happy?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Of course, doing this podcast with you.
Sure.
Getting to spend time with you.
Sure.
All those things. Family game night. Always really fun. But the number one thing that's making me happy this week is that Victor Glover and the rest of the Artemis crew touched down back to Earth safely. They are back home. And that just really warmed my heart. They did a great job up there. It's obviously a very historic and monumental task to get to space. And I'm just grateful that they all got down there safely, because I think that's the part for all of us. Like, you remember Challenger because you learned it in school and or you were there and watched it. Mm-hmm. But I think I always have a little, like, you're holding your heart when they're coming back to Earth, because really re-entry is the scariest part.
Yeah. And then for me, my birthday's coming up. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to be spending time with my friends and family. With that being said, that's everything. I want to thank everybody for listening, watching this podcast. Again, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so definitely go ahead and subscribe. We are on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Discuss. We're here. Send us an email at theblackandsturdpodcast@gmail.com. With that being said, that is everything. Again, thank you and goodbye. Farewell. Avidas and goodbye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snerdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snerdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snerdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.